Good evening, ma'am. Today I am going to present test for fat. So, firstly, I take a paper and some groundnuts. So, firstly, we put the groundnuts into the paper and fold it. Then fold it and crush. And I crush with the help of this. So you can see some oily patches there in the paper, hence prove the groundnuts contain oil and fat. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am, and all my dear friends. I, Ashika of class 6th, is here to present a activity on front of you. And the aim of my activity is to test the presence of fat. Material required: paper, groundnuts, and pistol. Theory: fats give more energy than carbohydrates. Oily patch on the paper sheet shows the presence of fat in the given food sample. Take some peeled groundnuts. Put them in a piece of clean paper and crush it. Remove the crushed groundnuts and hold the paper against a light source and absorb it. An oily patch on the paper shows the presence of fat in the given food sample. The food sample contains fat. Thank you, ma'am, and all my lovely friends. Hope you like my activity.
Good evening, ma'am, and my dear friends. Today I am here to show an activity in front of you. And the activity is test for fat. So here I have taken a paper and some groundnuts and now I will put groundnuts in the paper and then fold it. While crushing the groundnuts, the paper should not be tearing. Now I am crushing the groundnuts like this. It will take some time. So crush it tightly and sure that the paper is not teared. So like this. This I am crushing it. Okay. Now I will open the page. I am opening this paper and now I will put these groundnuts out from the paper and then I will press it. And now I will put it in the bowl. So you can see here some patches of oil are here. See, some patches of oil is here. So it means groundnuts contain fat. That seems to be that groundnut contains fat. This was my activity. So thank you. Have a nice day.
Good evening to one and all present out here. I am the student of class 6th name Mayank Singh Son. I am showing the activity of science. Fat present in groundnut. We can take some groundnut and put in paper and we can fold the paper and crush it. So I will crushing the groundnut so we can see the groundnut. so it can crushed. Now check fat present in groundnut. Doll-like structure in page, it is the fat of groundnut. Thank you, have a nice day.
Today, I'm Kanak Bhatt of class 6G is going to do one science experiment and try to do test of fat. So let's see what ingredients we want. So we want some groundnuts, a crushed dough and a clean white paper. So what we have to do, we have to crush all the groundnuts in the crusher. And we will crush all the walnuts in the small crusher. So I will show you after crushing. So we have crushed the groundnuts, and after waiting for 1 hour, we will see how it is reflects. Now we can see it is sounding with his oil. So our experiment is correct and it is passed. Now we can see that the groundnuts are fully adding their oil. So this is for today. Thank you and good night.
Good evening, all of you present over here. My name is Harsh Bungla, class 6th C. I am here to do a science project with groundnuts. Groundnuts contain fat or not, that we can talk in this way. We will take some groundnuts and a simple paper. Then we put some groundnuts on the paper, and then we fold the paper like this, and then we can crush the paper. See, here are some oily patches that can we see from the light of. And
Now, my name is Sangamitra Jana. I study in class 6C. Today I am going to present the test for fats. First of all, I have taken some groundnuts, a piece of paper and one plate. So, in the beginning, I am putting the groundnuts on the paper. I have put it. Then I am folding it. Then I am going to crush the groundnuts. So I have crushed the groundnuts. You can see some oily patches are there in the paper. This is the test for fats. It means that groundnuts contains fats. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all of you. My name is Akshita Basera of class 6th C.
Today I am doing one activity, testing of fat. So at first we have to take some groundnuts, one clean white paper and one crusher. At first we have to take one nut and crush it. I meet you after crushing one nut. So I crush one nut and now I folding my paper and push it. Heat it so much. So you can see now some oily patches on white paper. You can see here some oily patches. It means the groundnuts have fat. You can see here some oily patches on white paper. It means the groundnut have fat. Bye bye. Good night.
My name is Anna Rosan of class 6C. Today's activity is taste for fat. Firstly, I have taken a paper. Secondly, I have taken mustard seed. Then we will put mustard seeds in the paper. Then we will fold the paper and crush it. After crushing it, we will open the paper. Now you can see the oily patches on the paper. This proves mustard seeds have fat and oil. Thank you.
Dear ma'am and all my dear friends, today I am Ketan of class 6 is here to doing activity. So my activity is presence of fat on groundnuts. So I have taken one seeds and some groundnut. So our first step is we have to put groundnuts on the paper, and our second step we have to crush it and we have to crush it carefully. So here you can see the oil patches on the paper. This shows the presence of fat on the groundnuts. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Good evening, all of you. My name is Vani Bhandari. I study in class 6th C. Today I am doing the activity of science. The topic of my activity is test for fats. So I have some groundnuts, a crusher, or a paper. Now I crush a groundnut. So you have see there are the crush of groundnut. So now I fold it and mash. Now you can see there are so many patches of oil. So that means groundnuts contain fats. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.
Good evening everyone. Today I am Arjun Chan. Here I am do experiment on text for fat. Firstly, we will take some peeled groundnut. Then we will put them in a clean paper and crush it.
that we will remove the groundnuts from the paper. Then hold the paper against a light source and absorb it. So here we will know that our groundnuts contain fat. So thank you for watching my video.
Good evening all of you. My name is Singh. I am studying class 6th C. Today I am here to show a activity in front of you, and the activity is test of fats. So hereof I have taken a paper and groundnuts. And some groundnuts, I am putting groundnuts in paper and crush it. I have crushed the groundnut. You can see some oily patches on the paper. This is the test of fats. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am and dear friends. My name is Mansi Danu. I study in class 6C. Today I am presenting an activity of science. So here I am taking some groundnuts on the paper. Now see there. There is a patches of oil. It means it contains fats. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Divyansh Meher. I study in class 6C. Today I am here to show you fat in groundnuts. First we need some groundnut. Then we fold the page. And then we crush that. Now we put crushed in the bowl. Now you see the fat in paper.
Good morning everyone. My name is Vignesh. I study in class 6C. We have a piece of paper, plate and groundnuts. Then I am going to crush the groundnuts. You can see. So it means groundnuts contains fat.
Good evening all of you. Today I am Pransu Bisht of class 6C doing our activity test for fat. For this activity we have paper and peanut. Now I will crush them. We can see oil here. Here is oil. So it means peanut contain oil. Thank you.
A very warm evening to all of you. Today, I, Divyanshi Bathyal of class 6C, is here to perform an activity. The activity is of science. The activity is to test fat in groundnuts. For this, the material required are some groundnuts, a paper, a crusher. The first step is
put groundnuts in paper. Now fold the paper carefully so that the paper will not tear. Now crush the groundnuts. If the paper contains oil patches, it is clear that the groundnut contains the fat. Put back. You can see the oil patches. So it is clear that groundnut contains the fat. Thank you.
Good evening all of you. My name is Sandhya and today I am doing one activity. I will take page and groundnuts. I will throw groundnuts in page and fold it carefully. Then page is not tear. You see, there is patches on page. Thank you.
Good afternoon everyone, my name is Sahil Mehta. I am studying in class 6C. So I am doing the test for fat. So we have some groundnuts, paper and a steel plate. So let's start. So it means it have the fat. Thank you.
And dear friends, today I Gunjan of class 6A is going to present a activity. The activity name Test for Facts. This activity we take some materials. First we take pastel. Then we take some groundnuts. Then a white paper. First we will put on flour. Then we will take some groundnuts. Then we will fold it. Then we will crush it help of pestle. Then we will put down its flour. Then you can show the fat patches on this paper. It is clear this food item has fats.
Ma'am, I am Pranjal, son of class 6th A, is going to doing an experiment on test for fat. In this experiment, we use some peeled groundnuts, a pastel and a white paper. First, put the groundnuts into the paper and then fold the paper and then crush it. And then you can see some oily patches. This patches shows that the food item contains fats. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Good evening teachers and all my dear friends. My name is Ankush Meher from class 6A. Today I am performing an activity on fat. So let's start. Yes, some groundnuts, a white paper and a blister. So first we bring groundnuts on the paper. Then we fold the paper. Then we crush the groundnuts. Then we can see the oil. The oil means groundnut has perfect amounts of fats. So thank you and have a nice day.
Hello everyone, I am Malik Bhatt of class 6th A going to present a science activity, and the topic of the science activity is test for fat. We need some material for this activity, and the materials are some peeled groundnuts, white page and a pestle. So first of all, I am putting the groundnuts on the paper and I am folding it. So I have folded the paper and I am crushing the groundnuts. So I have crushed the groundnuts and I am putting it on the paper. So you can see that the oily patches show that this food item or groundnuts contain fats. Thank you.
All of you. My name is Chaitanya Mehra from class 6th. Today I am testing the fats in the nuts. So let's go. We will need some groundnuts and one paper. We will fold it. And now we will crush it. We will take out the groundnuts from the paper. Now you have seen the oil patches in the paper. This proves that the groundnut contains the fats. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am, and all my dear friends. My name is David of class 6A is going to perform a test for fat. And to do it, we need some things. We need a piece of paper, a pestle, and some groundnuts. So first, we will put the groundnuts in the paper. Then we will fold it in half. And then we will smash them. Now we have smashed them. As we can see, there are patches of paper. There are patches of oil. So it proves that the food item has fat in it. Thank you.
Good evening, teachers and all my dear friends. My name is Nidhi Kumari of class 6th. So here I am doing activity in front of you. So chapter 1, science, where food does come from. So let's start. You can see here I am taking a groundnuts and I am going to crush of the help of this pestle. So I am crush it. You can see here is a fat. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Chris Singbist from class 6A. I am presenting an activity named Test for Fats. For what we need a paper, pestle and groundnuts. We will put them in paper and we will crush it. Now we will open it. We will see oil patches which show that there is fat in groundnut. This was
Good morning everyone. My name is Aditya. I study in class 6A. I am going to present test for fat. First, I take a paper and some groundnuts. I put groundnuts on the paper
crush it. As you can see, some oily patches on the paper. Thank you.
Good evening, my dear respective teacher and my dear friends. So today I am going to present an activity of the test of facts. So let's get started. See, I have a white paper and some groundnuts and pastels. The groundnuts put in the center of page and fold it and crust with the help of pastel, and it was crusted, and the groundnuts put in the floor. You can see the result. So, the activity was done of fats. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Good evening, teacher and my dear friends. Today, I, Anjali Dhami of class 6A, is going to do an activity. And my activity is about to test for fat. In this activity, we have to take one paper, some groundnuts and one pistol. First, we have to put some groundnuts on paper. Then we have to fold the paper. Then we have to crush it. Then you can see these oily patches. These oily patches.
Good evening to everyone. Today, I, Mayank Singh of class 6th C, is here to present one activity. The name of the activity is Test for Fats. So, for this activity, I want some mashed almonds. I have to put them on the paper like this. Then I have to push it nicely. Now you can see there are some oil patches in the paper. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.
All of you, my name is Iris Sidhani from class 6A. Today I do an activity that is test for fat. So our aim is to test the presence of fat in the food item. In this activity, we need some peeled groundnuts, a piece of white paper and a plaster. So we take some peeled groundnut and a paper, put peeled groundnut in it and fold the paper. And with the help of cluster, we crust it. Crush the page carefully. Wait for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, open the paper and remove the crushed groundnut. And hold the paper into the source of light. You can see the oily patch in this paper, which tells us that groundnut contains fat.
So, activity done successfully.
Thank you. Good evening everyone. My name is Kartikeya Samant of class 6th A. Today I am here to present the test of fat in groundnuts. So first we will need some groundnuts, that is here, and a crusher and a white paper. Then we will put some groundnuts in the paper and we will crush it. Now we will clean the A4 sheets. Now we will put this in the light. Now you can see the patches in the white paper. So this is now we can see the patches in the paper. It means that there is fat in groundnuts. Thank
Good
you.
evening all of you. I am Vasundhara from class 6A is here to perform an activity on the topic of presence of fats in a food sample. So the material required are some groundnuts, a pestle and a white paper. So the procedure is you have to put some peeled groundnuts on the paper and then you have to hammer it, not aside. You will notice some patches on the paper. Of the light, you will notice some patches on the paper. This proves that groundnut contains fat. Thank
Good evening to respected teacher and my dear lovely friends. Today I am Ananya of class 6A going to do an activity in front of you. We will test the presence of fat. For this test we want groundnuts, paper and crusher. Then take some groundnuts and peel it and put it on the paper. And then crush it. Then remove the crushed peanuts from the paper. Then you can see an oily patch on the paper shows the presence of fat. I hope you'd like activity. Thank you.
Today I should be Vipulya of class 6A is going to present the practical on test on fat. So let's start. The material required for this activity are white paper, a crusher and some groundnuts. First we will put some groundnuts on the paper. Then we will fold the paper into half and crush it. Transparent. Then we will again put the groundnut into the bowl. Now we can see that the oil make the paper transparent because there is fat on groundnuts.
Good evening everyone. My name is Arna Fry of class 6A. I am going to showing an activity on fats. Let's start. Take a paper, some groundnuts and pestle. Put groundnuts on paper and fold it and crush it. all patches on paper called fats. Thank you.
Good evening everyone. My name is Aishpant. I study in class 6A. Today I am going to present test for fat. You need some groundnuts and a paper for doing this activity. Put the groundnuts on the paper. Fold the paper, then crush it. As you can see, there are oily patches on the paper. This represents that the food item has fat. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am, and all my dear friends. Today, I, Akshita Dhami of class 6th is here to present an activity, and the aim of my activity is to test for fat. So here I start. First, we need one paper, one pastel, and some almonds. So we have to put the almonds on the center of the paper. Now we have to fold the paper. Now we have to crush it. Now you can see some oily patches. It means the food requires fats. Thank you and have a nice day.
All of you, myself Jia Mehta. I will show you test for fat. Now I will take some peanut and a white paper. Now I am putting this peanut on the paper and crushing it. As you can see, there are oil patches in a paper. This shows that peanut contains fat. Thank you. Have a nice day.